The usual explanation for dried food and acne is that dried food is full of sugar. Sugar spikes insulin, insulin increases oil clogs the pore, bacteria grow, and then you break out. But that explanation never made sense to me, because why would one sweet food break you out while another sweet food does nothing? That explanation only makes sense if you believe the pore is the problem itself. But if the pore is a pressure release point, dried food becomes very easy to understand. The issue is not the sugar by itself. The issue is that dried fruit is concentrated fruit, which means concentrated potassium. Fresh food comes with water and volume. You eat 1 or 2 pieces and you're done. But dried fruit is different. The water is removed, the fruit shrinks, and you suddenly can eat the equivalent of a whole bowl of fruit in a few handfuls. So when you eat dried apricots, dates, raisins, figs, banana or prunes, you are not just eating sugar. You are eating a concentrated potassium hit. And in a normal food environment, that would not be the issue. But we no longer live in a normal food environment. We live in a modern food environment that is extremely sodium heavy. And when the sodium baseline changes, the same sweet food does not create the same reaction. You have to imagine it like throwing a potassium bomb into a sodium heavy battlefield. The battlefield is your body already loaded with hidden sodium from modern food. The bomb is the dried fruit. The explosion is the fast fluid shift that happens when the potassium hits a sodium-heavy body. And the breakout is where the pressure finally shows up through the pore, like a little pressure volcano. So the dried fruit did not create the battlefield. It set off the explosion because the battlefield was already unstable. That is why the breakout can feel like it appeared overnight. And this is also why removing dried food does not solve acne. You removed a big potassium shift, so the obvious reaction may calm down. But the sodium-heavy baseline is still there. So the real issue was never simply dried food or sugar. The real issue was the sodium-potassium mismatch underneath. And this is why the pressure model explains trigger foods much better. Because the food is not the root problem. It can be what reveals the state your body was already in. Dried fruit does not expose a sugar problem in acne. It exposes a sodium-potassium pressure problem. So before blaming the sugar, you have to ask what state was the body already in.